Hello, comrades. Of all of the European nations that at one point utilized a socialist system, one of the more prominently discussed in the modern day is Albania, otherwise known as or formerly known as, I should say, the People's Socialist Republic of Albania. Socialist Albania was, for most of its lifespan, led by Enver Hoxha, who was General Secretary of the Party of Labour of Albania from 1941 to 1985. Under the leadership of Hoxha, Albania was actually able to go through a massive transformation in terms of their industrial and societal progress. It was during Hoxha's time as General Secretary that women were encouraged to work in all sorts of jobs that were available in the country, even those that were on the government level. And women also became a lot more involved in schooling, with the population of women in secondary and 8-year schools, which I believe were elementary. But anyway, the population of women in those two types of schools in 1978 was vastly beyond that same demographic and population in 1938. In socialist Albania, a campaign was actually formed to bring widespread electricity to the nation and its people. This began in the late 1960s, and at first it was only expected to be completed in 1985, a whole 15 to 20 years later. However, this whole process of electrifying or granting electricity to the people of Albania was completed by 1970. So within 2 or 3 years, they were able to bring electricity to the entire nation, and they did it 15 years before they expected to be finished. The life expectancy in Albania also saw a very significant rise thanks to these developments, along with the guaranteed free healthcare established under Hoxha. The earliest life expectancy that I could find in Albania was from 1938, and it's estimated that the life expectancy was around 38 years. Whereas in 1985, the same year that Hoxha died in Albania, the life expectancy had risen all the way up to 71. During Hoxha's time as leadership, with his policy and whatnot, life expectancy in Albania was fucking doubled. Enver Hoxha did a lot of really good things for the Albanian people, and for that he should definitely be given the proper respect and admiration that he deserves. Along with the developments of socialism in Albania, Hoxha is also known for his very strong emphasis on anti-revisionism, working constantly to uphold the strength of Marxism-Leninism. The two most notorious critiques made by Hoxha are his critiques of Tito and Yugoslavia, along with his writings on Chairman Mao and China. Now, while his criticisms of Mao and China weren't that good, overall Hoxha's emphasis on anti-revisionism is admirable. Hoxha was pretty much just trying to avoid, more Khrushchevs and people like that coming into power. Similar to that of Lenin and Mao, Hoxha is one of the few leaders of a socialist country to actually have a branch of Marxist theory named after him. And of course, it's called Hoxhaism. But is it really necessary for there to be an entire branch of Marxism based off of the ideals of Hoxha? I don't think so. Now, to make sure that we're all on the same page, I am not shitting on Hoxha or Socialist Albania or anything like that in saying this. I'm not trying to undermine Hoxha as a leader, or accuse him of being a revisionist or whatever, or anything like that, okay? I respect Hoxha and what he did for the people of Albania, okay? Good. In terms of practice, Hoxha was great. He did a whole lot of good stuff in establishing socialism and helping the oppressed people of Albania. But in terms of theory, what the hell did he really do to actually further develop Marxism? Most people agree that the closest thing to an actual contribution to Marxist theory that Hoxha did is his emphasis on really enforcing anti-revisionism. Which, of course, is good that he did that, but being anti-revisionist isn't anything new, and it wasn't anything new by the time Hoxhaism became recognized as a branch of Marxism. Anti-revisionism is already a staple of Marxism-Leninism, and I don't understand how simply putting more emphasis on that one particular practice equates to an actual development in theory. Like, my dudes, Lenin wrote an entire book on anti-revisionism long before the concept of Hoxhaism was even a thing. Hoxha really didn't do anything that Lenin and Stalin weren't already doing 20 years before Hoxha became General Secretary. If you consider yourself a Hoxhaist, I still consider you my comrade, okay? I'm not trying to promote any form of actual sectarianism right now. It's just that being a Hoxhaist isn't necessarily wrong. It just doesn't seem like the label is necessary because when you boil down Hoxhaism, the only real key factor in it is anti-revisionism. I'm not anti-Hoxhaist, I just don't think Hoxha really did anything to develop Marxism. It's cool if you like Hoxha, I like Hoxha, I just don't think people should really start considering themselves Hoxhaism, or Hoxhaists, when there's really nothing to Hoxhaism other than an already present staple of Marxism-Leninism. I'm Jymee Casual, fuck you and bye.